everybody, I hope you're having a nice week. I'm back from the States and I'm also back from being very ill. You might have seen on my Instagram, but we had to cut our trip short from the States because I got a really nasty tummy bug. So I shall tell you the details. Basically, I wasn't feeling brilliant for a lot of the trip actually, and those of you that met me in New York will remember that I had a bit of a funny tummy. Anyway, it turned into a really nasty tummy bug, a vomiting bug, and so we were at the end of our stay in Cape Cod and I said to Matt, I was like, I'm just not having a nice time, I think we should just go home. So we changed our flights and we drove back to New York to fly out, and I was being sick all the way onto the plane, but I got on the plane, sat down, I was like, this is going to be an awful plane ride, but I just need to get through it. And they basically escorted us off the plane because I was too sick. So I didn't know this, but if you're sick within 12 hours of flying on a long haul flight, they won't fly with you. So we then went to an airport hotel to kind of wait it out because I thought it's just going to be a 24-hour thing, I'm sure I'll be fine. But it got worse and we ended up having to get an ambulance because I was too weak to walk, and I ended up in hospital. So it was a bit extreme end to the holiday, but I was only in hospital for a few hours. They just put me on a drip, rehydrated me. Sorry guys, that just cut out there, I don't know why. And anyway, so I managed to get on a plane home, which was a massive relief, but then I've spent a long time recovering. It seems that whenever I get sick, I get really sick. I don't get sick very often, but every 2 years or so I get very ill and then it just wipes me out for a few weeks. So I'm still just getting back to it. So if I'm not as energetic as normal, it's just because I'm not quite 100% yet. Anyway, I'm here to show you my fabrics for October. And I'm also here to show you Poppy because I know some of you have missed her. Let me just get her for you. She's just here. Let's slide her into shot. Here, Poppy. Ah, look at the camera. So when I come to Islington, which is where I am right now, Poppy loves coming up on this big table, which is our cutting table. I think she just likes being high up, a bit like cats do. Can you see people, Poppy? So people need to see your face. So she sits on here on her cushion, and it also means then she can't run out of the shop quickly. So I'm going to slide her back, but oh no, I'm going to push you back here, Poppy. There you go. There you go. Yeah. But yeah, we were reunited back in Yorkshire. I went to stay with Mum and Dad whilst I got better, and then I brought Poppy back with me. So yeah, it was nice to see her, and it's been really nice having her back actually. So yeah, little Pops. And I think she was really funny, like for the first few days when I went back, she was still like attached to my dad because she just transferred her affection over to him. But then after a couple of days, she started to come back to me, which I was happy about. I was slightly worried that I'd left her for too long and she was no longer going to be my dog, but she was. Anyway, I think the camera's doing something funny. I'm just going to adjust it, guys. So, as I've not been very well, and as it's already mid-October, I'm not going to be doing masses of sewing. I've just got 3 things to do. So I wanted to be realistic with myself, and so I'm not going to do a pattern review this month. I'll do one next month when I'm feeling a lot better. So the first fabric I want to show you is this really unusual fabric that I've had in the shop for a while, but we haven't sold it. We've saved it because I felt it was so autumnal, and it's basically a kind of, it's not silk, but it feels like silk. So it's, I think it's maybe a poly viscose mix. And it's got this lovely big graphic floral print. Can you see? Like so. Kind of really, really big print. Happens, I guess the repeat is, yeah, it's about every 50 centimetres there's a flower. I'm not quite sure what the repeat is, but anyway, it's lovely. I think it's really lovely, and when I saw it, I knew that I'd want to make a shift dress out of it, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make a nice long sleeve shift dress. Oh, sorry about that, guys. In between the edit just there, I've had to run to Ryman's to get a new camera card because my camera card was doing something very funny to the camera, and so I don't think I've got the same frame, so I'm sorry if it's slightly different, but let's continue. Okay, So this fabric, shift dress, definitely. The important thing will be the placement of the pattern pieces so that I get a really nice flower in a nice place. I think probably I want that down by the hem, but I don't want to cut it off. So I've cut off some extra fabric so that I've got a bit of room to play with. But yes, that's the first fabric. Second fabric, which one shall I show you next? I'll show you this one, which is what I got in Mood when I had my New York meetup, which was lovely. If any of you who came on that are watching, it was so nice seeing you, and it was definitely a highlight of my trip. So thank you for coming. So this is, I don't know what fabric it is. It feels quite cottony. So it might be some kind of cotton wool blend. Although I don't know if there's even any wool in it. It might just be a really heavy cotton. Anyway, it's a really interesting weave, and you won't be able to see this on camera, but there's little squares, like diamond squares, that are kind of woven in. So it's got a lovely texture to it, and it's my favourite blue. It's like a cornflower blue. It looks quite lilac-y on the screen, but it is definitely blue. And I bought this because I wanted to make a cocoa jacket out of it. So I haven't made a cocoa jacket in a while, and because we're coming into winter, I know I'll be wearing more jackets and things with my outfits, so I thought this would be perfect for that. I'm slightly worried that it frays quite a bit there, but I hope that when you stitch it, it's not going to start. Sometimes with boucle tweeds, when you stitch them, they just start pulling away. The moment you cut it, it just frays terribly, and you have to almost interface it to stop it from doing that. But I don't want to do that because that would make this really rigid. It's already got quite a lot of weight to it, so it doesn't need any more of that. But we will see what it's like when I start cutting it. And I'm not sure if I might use the selvage for the, yeah, I think actually the selvage, if you can see the selvage, it's quite nice and neat kind of fray, so I might use that to trim the edges of the cocoa jacket. We will see. So that is fabric number 2. I'm actually out of breath. Just need to calm down from my rushing around. The last fabric is a jersey, and it's a fabric that we've got in stock. We took it to the shows, but fortunately not all of it went, so we'll be putting it online, and obviously I'll put the links to that and the other big floral fabric in the comments. And I thought it'd be nice to make a cowl neck dress, because I haven't made one of those since we released the cowl neck pattern, and they are so nice to wear in the winter. And this has got like little green, like bottle green squares and circles on a black background, so I know that it's going to be good to wear with tights and a little belt around the waist, and yeah, a nice wintry dress. So, and yeah, a nice bottle green. I think it goes with my hair. I've had my hair cut. I don't know if you can tell, I've had my fringe cut in again. I was trying to grow it out, but I've realised that I don't suit it without a fringe, so I cut it back in. And yeah, I had it done yesterday, so I've still got some of the blow drying volume that she put in, but after being ill for so long, it felt so nice to get my hair done. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. What was I saying? Nothing. I was saying about this jersey, lightweight jersey. It's perfect for the cowl neck dress. Yeah. So 3 things I'm going to make, guys. A cocoa jacket, a cowl neck dress, and a shift dress. And I know I make loads of shift dresses, but I actually did have a big sort out of my shift dresses after I filmed that video, because I realised I had so many, and I gave loads to my mum because she looks great in them, and so I have room in my wardrobe for more. But also it's such a good dress to wear in the winter, hence why I'm wearing one now. It just goes really well with tights, and it's really comfy, and it's just perfect work dress, so that's why I'm making another one. But yes. There we go. So that is it. I will try and report back as soon as I can, but please bear with me because I'm not sewing at the rate I normally do, so it might not be till November. But next week I'm going to do a video, I think using the seamstress tag. So I don't know if any of you watch other sewing vloggers, but this has been started by a vlogger, and yeah, we have been asked to do one, so I'm going to do that. And I will do that from a tiny corner of our house that isn't ruined. So the house is still carrying on, the works are still going on. A job that was meant to be 4 or 5 weeks is now going to be over 3 months. So you can imagine I'm not very happy about that. and that's why I'm filming this here in our shop rather than at home, but it is only 2 weeks away from being finished, so I will get my flat back finally. But yeah, next week I'll try and find a little corner and make it look nice, and do the video for the seamstress tag then. So until then guys, I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye!